We brought Michael J. Fox up here in a DeLorean, and we went back in time to October of 2014, not too long ago. You would see Republican candidates all over the country in October of 2014 saying, if you elect us, if you give us a Republican majority, what will we do? Number one, we're going to fight tooth and nail to repeal Obamacare. The number one topic Republican candidates raised on the campaign trail. And number two, if you elect us, if you give us a Republican majority, we're going to stop President Obama's illegal and unconstitutional amnesty. That was just over 2 months ago. And yet now, when the topics come up, at times you hear crickets chirping. It ain't complicated. We need to do what we said we would do.
When you look right now that legal immigrants take 12 to 15 years and sometimes up to $15,000 in legal fees to immigrate to this nation, that's a problem. It needs to be reformed. Look, we've utilized migrant workers in this nation since the Revolutionary War. We brought the French over to help us win, and many of them stayed here, okay? We had a work visa program that worked, and I've been to South Georgia farmers. I've been to their farms. I've met with them to see many of these migrant workers that would come to this nation, which through government policy is what we've driven ourselves to where we're so reliant on migrant workers. But most of them prior to the last couple of decades would come here. They would work. Most of it is piecemeal. They're making a decent wage. It's hard work. As soon as it's done, they go back because what they make here, they live as upper middle class when they go back to their country. And so what we've done is we've tried to fix something that was working relatively well. And we've created a situation. Now what we want is through government policy, poor policy, we've created a situation where many of those migrant workers are afraid if they go back home, they're not going to come back, so they stay here. And now we want to give them amnesty. When I sat with a gentleman from Ecuador recently who is an engineer here. He's a legal immigrant. It took him 12 years to legally come to this country. He sat across from me and he said, I've supported you, but if you let the folks that came here illegally stay after what I had to go through, I'll never support you again. And so you're exactly right, but we have to be very careful in the way we message this because we are going to be seeking immigration reform, but it's not the reform that they're talking about. It's the rule of law, it's getting back, it's simplifying it, it's taking the red tape out of it, it's making it work the way it was intended to work in the nation. And so, but you're right, giving amnesty is a slap in the face to those who have done it properly. We need to make the legal immigration system work. We have to seal the borders. And it always amazes me when I was in the state legislature. We're so reactive. We always want to start a new law instead of enforcing the laws we have on the books. So let's secure the border. Let's enforce the laws we have on the book. Let's streamline the legal immigration system and have a work visa program that allows those that do need to come into the nation to work. We know where they are, we can track them, and we know when they're supposed to go back and we know where they are. If we do that, then we can take a step back and look at what else needs to be done.